snake farming or, revenue from, how exactly are you planning to make this work for Kenya?
Yes, I've been in a country where snakes are rare and are rarely killed because of their venom. 1 gram of venom is $5,000. And you'll find out that multinational corporations have come in handy to lobby governments in the West to restrict snake farming in developing countries, and also to have a monopoly in snake farming through some kind of companies, especially like in South Africa. Venom is the most expensive, is more expensive than gold, because snake bites can only be healed by venom from particular species of snakes.
Right.
Therefore, if we have to look into that as an area to generate revenue with the modern technology, then if we find out that we can have $1 billion business in a year to sustain our economy, as well as to pay off our debts as another source of income. Therefore, the meat that comes out of snakes is eaten, and I'm told it's a delicacy in China and Southeast Asian countries. We can export that to China to alleviate our debts. And at the same time, we can use snake skins. But the harvest formula will be regulated by my government,
right,
so that the snake skins can be used to produce other products like bags, handbags, and what have you.
Are there numbers to the amount that you foresee? You've spoken about venom, the numbers that you see from snake meat.
Well, can you come again?
Are there numbers, in terms of revenue that you can project we would?
Yeah, it's a $1 billion trade per year.
Okay,
and then if you look at Ukambani, for example, Kitui area, people there are languishing in poverty. There's no water. So if you can actually regulate and encourage snake farming in Kitui, just like one of the first pioneer snake farmer in Kenya, Mr. Gitundu, from Embakasi here. I went to his park and I saw the way it had been done, and went to KWS, and they said, yeah, we are issuing licenses. So snake farming is a $1 billion.
So you say trade. One of your markets is China.
China, of course, we have their debt, and we can export this. We can give them, first year we give them the meat, wakula alafu tuambie madeni yenyu imeisha. Because I'm really sick with what the Chinese are doing in this country.
In terms of feasibility, would they really take meat? I mean, this is not barter trade. We're not in a barter trade market. Would they, feasibility studies, will they accept this? Because you also have spoken about their presence in Kenya, and you would actually have those who are, dabbling in menial tasks and economic activity. You'd have them leave the country.
Immigration policy is top of the agenda, but before I regress to that, the Chinese are making plastic rice. It's being eaten here. They're making plastic fish. It's being eaten here. Nobody's looking into this, which is so much contagious in terms of poison and what have you. Now, when the Chinese come in this country and they take over jobs meant for our civil engineers who have graduated from the university with loans to pay, help loans, and they can't speak English, they can't speak Swahili, and when they are brought here, nobody knows how they have come in, whether they have come in properly, whether they have been labor certificated. I mean, why would we have the Chinese to come and take over jobs and come in and bring in contraband?
With your sentiments on Chinese, would you expect them to really take your snake meat?
No, I'm going to expel the Chinese from this country. Why? And let me tell you today. I'll tell you, and I'll tell it the way it is. Where the Chinese they have decolonized. If you go to Sri Lanka today, Sri Lanka is bankrupt because of the Chinese. They took over Beira, they need the port of Sri Lanka as collateral. If you go to Mozambique, Beira is gone. You go to Zambia, Lusaka is gone. If you come to Uganda, Entebbe International Airport is gone. Now, what we don't know is what collateral did the Kenyan government give to the Chinese? The government is not telling us.
Exactly.
And I will want that to come. And let me finish.
Yes.
When you come to the businessmen who are dealing with the infrastructure, those who are transporting goods to Uganda, who had employed loaders and drivers of over 500,000. Those people are out of employment because of this small chuma from Mombasa to the so-called dry port, which I'm going to ban when I take over the presidency. So it's not an issue that I'm speaking with the head. They have put us down. They have come into this country to take over jobs meant for Kenyans, and nobody's asking, apart from those who brought them. So my relationship with China is very clear. I'll recall my ambassador. and we shall renegotiate afresh any deals that we have with China. So are other countries, just like what Cyril Ramaphosa did. We are having and keeping a blind eye and killing our people every day on this poor infrastructure roads that have been brought in when our own engineers are doing Mutaro jobs, when Kenya Civil Engineering Battalion, which build Uhuru Park, which ought to have been incorporated into redesigning our roads.
And I'm sure many share the sentiment of, you know, how beholden we are to certain governments based on infrastructural projects that we have committed to. But you can't wake up and ask them to up and leave.
My friend,
there are ways of
when Trump
honoring these contracts.
There is nothing like
which
honoring.
your government will still be
No.
to.
I'm not going to honor an illegal contract. Look at what Ramaphosa did in South Africa with what Zuma did.